Who was Haman? What was his family name? Haggagite. Who was the Haggagite? The king of the Amalek. And you know who are the modern Amalek? The Nazis. Yeah. And look what God did to them, as God did to the Haggagite king. But this is for tomorrow when we'll be in the Gilgal. Talking about that, okay, we came from Abraham when he looked to the Abraham where he came to sacrifice his son Isaac. Very interesting. In David's time, this was not covered. David have seen it. And he's seen something else. This he have seen. The pool of Siloam that we have from the second temple time did not exist. This is the original pool of Siloam. From Abraham time. What does it receive? It received the water from the Gihon spring. You're standing over here, you see on the platform, you throw the rope, you take the bucket. Who did it? Women. Why? Because the men were outside. Got it? How the women brought it to the city? You do not see it, but you see there are like steps. Look. The same as we did with the ladder, there was an ascent to climb on the place that before we went down the ladder. I do not know if you've seen, there were holes.
Yes, we pointed.
Yeah, so.
It's heavy to schlep few gallons of water in a jar. So you put it over there and say, how you doing?
Take a break.
I'm doing. Okay? I mean, the women meeting by the well. You are in the well. From the book of Genesis. You understand? And look, whatever we've done, we go back to the book of Genesis. Now, what's have happened? The water from the Gihon spring came in here. Joab, son of Tzeruiah, who was the one who killed Absalom. Remember, we talked about it. Who hated David. Okay? When David have seen it from where we've been before, he said, whoever will catch the city will be named after him. You'll open the Bible and you can see it. Who got it? Joab. But he was a fox. Or maybe a wolf. He knew if he'll call it after his name, the king will kill him. Because he knew the king doesn't like it. He cannot call it after his name. He cannot call it after David's name. Because David said, whoever will get it, that will be the name. So look what he called it. What does he say? It's thy Zion fortress, my Lord. Who is Zion? God. It's God's fortress, my Lord. Now David's stuck. So the first one who gave it the city of the Zion God was Joab, son of Tzeruiah, when David came into the city. So it's written, it's thy Zion fortress, my Lord, which is the city of David. Okay? Look at the Bible, that's how it's written. Now, we go to Jesus. How Jesus knew about it. And there were no information about it. Why there was no information about it? The Babylonian arrived. King Hezekiah was a good king, although he had a bad son called Menashe, a Baal worshipper, who threw his son to the fire. This King Hezekiah knew that if the Assyrian attack, the very first thing that they'll do, they'll look to cut the water. With no water, you cannot live one day. So what did he do? He filled all of this. Filled it. Filled, if I'm holding my hand this way, and you've seen it in the movie, there were holes here like dripping system. He filled those holes, and he shifted the water from here to the inner part of the city, and he extended the city wall all around it so that the refugees from the north who came will have a place to stay. So when the Assyrian came, they did not see the water. You understand? So Jerusalem did not fall in Hezekiah's time. Okay? Water is God. So God was watching that the water, which means his words, will not fall in the Assyrians' hand. But what's happened after? Came the Babylonian, but the water was already going to a different direction. And the Babylonian took us to exile. And then came the Roman. They did not know about that. But Jesus knew about that. How do you know that Jesus knew about that? It's written in the Bible. What will happen to you have happened before. War where the Tower of Siloam fell and killed the 18 people. Do you know this passage? You are, what?
Yes, it's in the Gospel of Luke.
Yeah. So you're standing, you see those stones, they fell from the Tower of Siloam and killed the 18 people. Now, how Jesus knew it? And before, 15 years ago, no one knew about that. You want to prove that he is God? God knows it all. Got it? So here we are in what we excavated. The first people who excavated it came from Glen Rose, Texas. I don't want to mention names, but they promised mountains. Okay? And they did 0. Okay? Talking about that, when we excavated here, we didn't find Coca-Cola bottles, but we found shrimp and seafood. What the hell? It's not kosher. So how? And there is no sea in here. Can you give them a chance? Be careful. Bakasha. So how all this seafood came in? You remember Jezebel? She have had a daughter called Atalia. And Atalia was married to Yoram or Yehoram. He was the king of Jerusalem. So Atalia, who came from Tyre and have had a mother, Baal worshipper, called Jezebel, took his phone that can talk regardless of the country, dialed 00111, and said, "Mommy, I want seafood." And she got the seafood. When Hezekiah had to bury it, he took all the Coca-Cola bottle and all the shrimp and all whatever, boom, dumped it in it. When we excavated it, we found it. Said, how could it be shrimp in there? Well, we remember that Atalia was not a nice lady. Okay? You want to know why we left to exile? You got the reason. So talking about that, here we are in the pool of Siloam. The water from the Gihon spring came to the lower point in here. To the lower point in here, from there, on the right. Okay? And then used to go from here to the 533 yard long Hezekiah tunnel that he made. So that the Assyrians won't find where the water is coming. Joab, son of Zeruiah, walks to the water tunnel, and you've seen that in the movie, saw the rope with the bucket, climbed on it, walked up, opened the gate, David came. The city fell on our hands. That's exactly what I was looking to do in 6 divorces. I read the Bible, and I said, those Muslims do not read the Bible. So if David did it, why won't we try it? The problem was that when the war started, I was sent with my unit into the Sinai. Thank you, the Israeli army. Took 3 days to understand that we are not in here. We almost would have been killed. But a friend of mine said, no, they are there. They brought us with helicopter over here, and we lost 3 days. I decided to make a shortcut. That shortcut cost me with my life. The rest of the story, nothing. Okay? But here we are in the pool of Siloam, that in Christ's time only he knew about, but it was not excavated. So they built another pool of Siloam. You understand? So we are in the time of Abraham and before Melchizedek, pool of Siloam. Because before it was called Yerushalem, it was called Salem. Got it? So you were visiting Salem city over there, while we are in Jerusalem.
Which is why Melchizedek.
You understand? Okay. Simply, 1,000 years passed, David came, the name had been given these 2 letters that tied to the God Almighty.
Yeah.
And Melchizedek was a high priest, but not on our God. So don't link yourself to Melchizedek. You do not know that David was a priest, because in your Bible, and the son of David were chief rulers. In my Hebrew Bible, it's written on the same passage, and the son of David are high priest and king. Got it? So, Jesus is a high priest family. Mary is a high priest family. And Joseph, too, the high priest family. But that we'll talk more when we'll be tomorrow toward the Galilee. I wanted you to understand what you have done. We walked about 3,000 years in this small little thing, and we've been at a place, not only in Abraham and Isaac have had a covenant with Melchizedek and between them and God, but Jacob too. And in the prophecy that God gave to Jacob, it's the same word to word, the prophecy that God gave before to Abraham.
Amen.
To be a father of multi-nations.
That's awesome.
And that's why you are registered on the president's seal. As what? As if from a nation. Because Jacob said, they are 2 my sons. Kapish? Can we go?
Yep.